Now that's it for the View router. You learned why we need routing and how to set up routing. You learned how to register routes, that there's a lot you can configure there. You can set up redirects, paths, names, metadata, multiple components that should be loaded, nested routes with children. We learned how to work with dynamic path segments to use route parameters which we can extract in the loaded components, how we can pass those route parameters as props into the to-be-loaded components, and much more. We learned about all those navigation guards and about controlling the scroll behavior. We learned how to navigate with router link or also programmatically with the $router property and the push method. We learned how we can describe the location we want to go to. For example, by setting up a string path to which we want to go, or by passing such an object using the name, adding params, and possibly adding a query parameter. With all of that, you can provide a great user experience. You can make sure that users don't lose unsaved changes. You can make sure that you have URLs and paths in the URLs that relate to the content that's visible on the screen. And you got shareable URLs, which you can copy and paste to load exactly that place of your View application, even though it's still a single-page application. These are all the things you learned here, and I can absolutely recommend that you go through this module again if some things aren't clear, or maybe in a couple of weeks, so that you make sure you don't forget all those things which you learned here. Because you will need the View router in any bigger application you're going to build. And speaking of that, we are going to build such a bigger application so that we can practice all the things we learned thus far and also see the router in action in a more realistic application.